Good morning, folks. Welcome to another edition of the Morning Glory session. Now, listen, very quick one today. I'm in a rush to get down to Primal and get the shit done, try to get the gym ready for opening over the next 4-6 weeks. But I had a long conversation there with one of my online clients. Now, this guy's been with me probably about 9 months to a year, and he's done phenomenal. He's really killing it. He's lost so far 3 stone, and he's packed on a lot of muscle, and his skill development is phenomenal. He's hitting the kettlebells brilliantly. Basically, he's what I would classify as an A student. But the conversation we had, if you'd listened to it, you'd have thought he was the worst trainer in the world, that he couldn't do anything right. And he was pointing out to me in the space of about 20 minutes, he must have pointed out about 20 faults or 20 things he didn't like, and not once did he ever focus on the goals he'd achieved. This guy has went from pressing a 12 kilo to a 24 kilo kettlebell. He's went from losing 3 stone. He's built muscle massively. His confidence in a lot of things have grown, and he's feeling better about himself, right? He looks amazing, especially when you consider what he did look like. But yet, all he can focus on is what he hasn't achieved yet. And this blows me away, but it's very common. I'm like it, you're like it, we're all like it. We have this tendency to focus on the things we don't have. We spot something about our body or something about ourselves that we don't like, and then because we laser focus on it, we believe that everyone else sees us the way we see ourselves through our own eyes. And because of that, we react differently. We react a certain way. The reality is, he looks phenomenal. Especially if I have told him last year, if I'd have held a picture of him up today and I said, listen, in 9 months' time, you're going to look like this, he would have probably dropped down and cried, because he wouldn't have believed, he would never believe he could achieve it. But it's through focus and sheer determination he has got himself to where he is today. But he still won't let go of this belief that he's not good enough. He still lets these negative thoughts, these habitual thoughts come into his head that tells him he is not where he needs to be, he's not good enough, that everyone else is better than him. And that's holding him back. Where focus goes, energy flows. I keep saying this to you all. You need to put your focus on the positive things, because the negative, whether you want to believe it or not, frequency, vibration, energy, that's all we're created by. And if we focus our energy on the negative side of things, that energy is going to be attracted to us, and that's going to put us in a more negative state. If we focus on the positive things, we'll be becoming more positive. You will feel better about yourself. Everyone feels better, even though you mightn't be able to take it well. But when you're given a compliment by someone, you feel better about it. You know, it makes you feel good. Hey, you've lost some weight. Geez, you're looking well. You look good there. Thanks very much. You're walking away feeling good because someone said something positive to you. If someone was to say something negative to you, and imagine actually, I love this drill. It's from the book, The Tethered Soul, Michael J. Singer. Couldn't remember his name there. But he says, the voice in your head, take him out of your head and put him beside you and give him a name. What I tend to tell my clients is, give it the name of someone you absolutely despise, someone that just brings your energy right down. Imagine that person beside you all day, every single day, saying every single negative thought you say to yourself in your head, just whisper in your ear, you're crap, you're useless, look at you, you'll never achieve that, you're ugly, you're fat, you're a mess, no one likes you, you'll never be able to get that job. Whatever it is you think in your head, visualize a person you don't like standing beside you 24/7, saying those words into your ear. You're having a shit, he's saying those words. You're eating your dinner, he's saying those words. You're lying in bed with the missus, he's lying beside you saying those words in your ear. How long would it be before you told that guy to fuck off? I would say it wouldn't take that long. But yet we choose to do this to ourselves over and over again every single day. It's become habitual. Our thoughts are habitual, which means we need to actively change our thoughts. We need to be conscious of what we're saying to ourselves and try to change it. He could focus on the fact that he's packed on the muscle, that he's dropped 3 stone, that he's looking better, feeling better, and moving better than he ever has. But he doesn't. He's choosing on the fact that he's got love handles. He's choosing the fact that his belly isn't where it wants. He's choosing to focus on the fact that people on Instagram have a better physique than him, that there's people lifting more weights than him. He's allowing himself to focus on the things that don't matter. They're a waste of time. They're a waste of energy. They're not helping him push forward. In fact, they're holding him back. And we're all the same. Every single one of us will lie to ourselves. We will focus on the negative things. It's almost like it's a safety blanket. We don't want to admit to ourselves that we can achieve something, because if we actually admit that we can achieve things, if we can achieve this one thing, what other lies have we been telling ourselves that we have not, that has prevented us from achieving the things we want to achieve? You know, could you be in the job you want? Could you have the girlfriend you want? Or could you have married the woman you wanted? Could you have done anything? Could you afford the car? Could you, anything you can think of that you have told yourself, I can't do that. Therefore, that thought becomes action. That action becomes reality. You know, if you tell yourself, I won't get this job, well, then you're not going to find the energy. You're not going to find the drive to take action to try to get that job. And then whenever you don't get the job, well, you're like, well, I knew I wasn't going to get it anyway. You didn't get it because you didn't give yourself a chance. You never knew, you're never going to know if you could have got that job, because you never give yourself the full opportunity to achieve it because of the conversation you had with yourself. And it's the same with him. He's having these conversations and he's choosing. And I told him this, I said, you're actively choosing to focus on something that's going to hold you back. How many of you are doing the same thing? I know I've done it. I've done it hundreds of times. I catch myself doing it all the time and have to correct myself. And that's the conversation you have to have. You got to remember, the thoughts you have 60 to 70,000 thoughts every single day. 95% of those thoughts were the exact same as yesterday, were the exact same as the day before, were the exact same as the day before, were the exact same as the day before. So these thoughts are coming over and over again. You're not giving them any conscious thought. They're just subconsciously happening, but they're building up these neurons. They're connecting the neurons in your brain. You know, the what's it saying? The neurons that fire together wire together. So the thoughts you have, they've got power, because the power they have, they're going to start dictating how you think about yourself, It's going to basically dictate the whole perception of your world. And if you allow that to continually manifest over and over and over again, then you're going to create a world that you don't want, a life that you don't want. And it is you that's creating this life, because you can, once it's aware, you're now aware, you've been listening to me, you're now aware of what you're doing. Okay, I'm sure that anyone's listening to me here is going to go, actually, I do that myself. I know I do. I know you do. We all do it. So now that you're aware of it, you've got to take steps to change that. And that means you've got to actually, it's not going to happen overnight, and it's going to happen more regularly as you do, but it will happen more regularly as you continually practice this. But you've got to start telling yourself, when you catch yourself on speaking like that, you've got to stop yourself and ask yourself, why did I think like that? What was it that made me go down this route of thought? How can I change it? Is it true? Two of the questions that I love, it's from Loving What Is by Byron Katie. And I use this with every client I've ever coached. It's, is that true? So the thought you have, you ask yourself the question, is that true? And then the second question is, who would I be without that thought? Because you'll usually find that the thought you just had, the negative thought, the exaggeration of the situation that you have decided to build in your mind, because we all do this, isn't true. It isn't 100% true. And then you've got to ask yourself as well, if you know it's not 100% true, who would I be without that thought? And that's the crucial question, because you'll know instantly who you'll be without the thought. You'll be happier, you'll be leaner, you'll be fitter, you'll be whatever it is, whatever you're thinking, you'll be probably the complete opposite, because our thoughts dictate our actions, and then our actions drive our reality. And when you get that into your head, and when you understand that, you're free to let go of the bullshit, and you're free to focus on what matters. My client, it doesn't matter that he's still got a bit of a belly on him. It doesn't matter that he's not the shape of the Instagram models he's looking at, because his life isn't going to be affected by those people. It's not, him getting a six-pack isn't going to improve his life any better. But by him focusing on his achievements and him allowing himself to be proud of what he has achieved, a 3-stone drop, packing on muscle, building all these new skills, that is going to give him tangible evidence that he is capable of more than he believed, than he once believed. 9 months ago, he would not have believed he could have been in this position he is today. So if he focuses on, well, I didn't believe what I did 9 months ago, and look where I am today, where can I be in another 9 months? When he starts focusing his energy towards that, and he starts driving that action, that is what's going to change him and make him an even better version of himself today. So that's me today, folks. I'll see you tomorrow.